Good day, Ruskin Endurers. I hope each and every single one of you is doing right out there in the world, because it is time for the Rust Store predictions video. Yes, several hours ago, all of these new skins rotated into the Rust Store, and we're going to go ahead and try and figure out which of these skins potentially might be the best investment this week, which of these skins potentially might give us some of those delicious looking profits. Right, so straight up, let's just point out we have Charitable Rust skins this week, as you can see at the Garage Store, the Hoodie, the AK-47, and the MP5, but I must reiterate, you cannot trade or sell these in any way possible form, alright? So once you buy these, they're tied to your account forever. Don't buy multiples. You only need one, okay? But just want to reiterate, it's incredibly unlikely these will ever become tradable or will ever become, marketable. Sorry, got a little bit tongue-tied there. So yes, these are a little bit more expensive, but all proceeds do go towards the charity that Charitable Rust is helping out this year, which you can see right here is Charity Water. Yep. All proceeds go towards helping out Charitable Rust with their fundraising, so if you're feeling charitable, please consider buying those skins and, well, help out people who are in need, if that sounds alright with you. So, just want to reiterate once more, you cannot make any investing with these, alright? So, now that we've got that out of the way, let's start talking about the skins that are marketable and tradable. Which of these skins potentially might be the best investment this week? Well, the best thing that I can look at is the likes of the hoodie and pants, but there are problems still. So let's just get straight into it. We have a full Abyss collection now. We have hoodie and pants, we have tier 2 armor, and we have tier 3 armor. Now, let me just quickly reiterate, SUM is a fair bit slow for updating its prices. I can inform you that the kilt seems to be... Actually, I think the price is up to date. Let me just quickly get a good look at this. And yes, I can confirm that, yeah, they're correct now. They're good. They're fine. What you might instantly notice is the tier 3 armor isn't exactly doing super great, but it's all based in the amount that this sold for. Or the amount it sold, sorry. So what you see here is this did over 30,000 sales for the tier 3 armor, but once the tier 2 came out, well, not a single piece here went up to 20,000. So there's far too many of the tier 3 armor compared to like the tier 2, and as of now, the hoodie and pants, there is an excess amount. People would like to have full collections, and there's only so many full collections that can be made, and after that, well, you can see the likes of tier 3 armor here. There's like 10,000 extra of these pieces, so that's why the price is struggling. That's why there's so many of them in the Steam market compared to tier 2 armor. Anyway, main point is how much will this sell? How many or how much quantity will this sell? If it ends up very nicely, in line with the tier 2 armor, this should work out quite alright. If it happens to sell more than the tier 2 armor, it should still be alright, because that's wedged right in the middle between tier 2 and tier 3. And if anything, that will only reinforce the idea that the kilt will become the most expensive piece of armor out of the whole set. Alright? So just wanted to get that across to you, but it's also abnormal. We don't need to rush into buying this. We can take our time. We can see how many sales it has by next Wednesday, do the abnormal buy orders first, then make a consideration as to what we'll do next. And honestly, I don't see it's going to struggle that much. I don't imagine it's going to sell too crazily based on the fact that we have these skins here. I think it's going to be a fairly quiet week. I think we are going to match up very nicely with the tier 2 armor. Now, you also might consider that with it being mostly black, you could actually pair this up with the likes of Blackout and whatnot. It will cover the silly eyes and the teeth and whatnot, so it should, it's a consideration. But what I could also point out is you can pair it up with the likes of Tempered Collection and whatnot. It does actually look really nice if you make that. So just wanted to point that out. Now, what I should also just quickly point out and say is now that this is a full collection, what else is there that could give this a boost? There's only 2 pieces that could help out with that being gloves and boots. I wouldn't be surprised if we potentially see that being made, but it won't happen until November. So I just want to reiterate that won't happen to at least November. Next week's Rust Store is Halloween. Week after that, Halloween week 2. So just want to make sure that you are all aware of that. But normally, we are kind of like rubbing our hands and always waiting in anticipation to see if we could see another core piece eventually appear, but all the core pieces are here now. What's going to happen from here on now is we're going to have to wait and see if people actively do want to use this collection. Will they actively want to wear it all? And will the price gradually, nicely rise in price with the interest? I will consider that, as we're getting closer and closer to like December and January, I do still think all of this could still go up in price. A nice copium is that the likes of this tier 3 armor will go back up to its Rust Store price around January 2024 time. Maybe, hopefully, we shall see. But if you were to just get a good look at the amount of people that we had playing in the summer, and then look at the amount of people that we had playing now, not super good, but then again, loads of kids went back to school, loads of, older kids went to college. They're all going to be back by December time. And once they see that this is now a full collection, maybe they'll jump in and buy out some more. So we shall see. So some people are asking me today, is now the best time to sell the kill? If the profits look good to you and you really need that money, by all means sell. If you need it, go for it. But I'm still thinking it could go even higher. And if we do see boots and gloves, yeah, we'll get another, boost in demand, increase in price moment. So other than that, it's nice to see, but this is abnormal. We don't need to rush into buying it. I'd rather do my abnormal barters first, look at the support afterwards, then make a decision. That's helped me out a lot by being patient this year, because how badly have you been dumped on at all this year? Have you been keeping an eye on all of your buy orders? It's been very awkward, I know. But we're almost out of October. November is where we start to see things slightly improve. December is where we do see things improve. And January is the best time to sell your skins, because there's loads of people back playing the game. And, of course, Christmas money. So they've got a lot of money to spend as well. So what do you reckon happens? All Rust skin prices increase ever so nicely. And like I said, best time to sell because the prices are so high. So with the likes of this, let's just see how it plays out. Let's see how much sells by next Wednesday, and we'll incorporate that into figuring out how much we might want to offer when we do the buy orders. Sounds good? Awesome. Right, next thing that I'm curious about in terms of what potentially could be a good investment is the garage door right here. Yes, it's very awkward that we have two garage doors, but that actually might help out this. Now, what makes this garage door extra special is it's glow in the dark and it has a see-through mesh. You can see right through that, which is very weird considering we literally had a glow in the dark see-through mesh garage door right here. So, point I want to get across to all of you is this sold a lot. This also very likely will be selling quite a lot. So maybe this gets neglected. Maybe this doesn't get that many eyes on it. And that could be very, very helpful for it, because you might not instantly realise, but this is actually part of a collection or the beginning of a new collection. So when you look at the likes of this, we had this, good month ago. Yeah, that was nice. I happen to believe that we will be seeing a brand new Altar Deplorable collection being made. Sheet metal door, armoured door, furnace, small box, who knows what's next. But if we keep seeing more and more deplorables being made and accepted, all the better for these two skins, because they haven't really sold that much. I mean, as of now, this doesn't look like it's going to sell that much, but as time goes on, if we do see more being made and more being accepted, the original two here very likely will be going up in demand and up in price ever so nicely, So this is purely based on speculation, but I do have to keep an eye on the amount that sell. Again, it's also abnormal. Don't need to rush into buying this. But I think this actually might work out very nicely in terms of being a very cool looking collection. Now, unfortunately, in the workshop, I can't really show you. Oh, the pictures are back. Good. All right. So initially it was a little bit bugged earlier, but yeah. I like the ancient relic type of design to it. Ancient sci-fi, I guess you could say. It looks pretty cool. The colour scheme for the glow-in-the-dark looks really nice. And there's loads of potential ideas that could be made for other deplorable skins. So if you like what you see, and if you feel confident that Smoothie, the skin creator, will be continuing this and making more deplorable skins, maybe it's a good consideration. Maybe you'd rather just stick with doing a buy order. I don't understand fully how, what your position might be at the moment. But again, I'm not going to rush into buying this. I want to see what happens. I want to see how much this sells. And with the likes of this doing very nicely, even though it's selling at a much higher price, maybe this doesn't sell that much. Maybe that proves for it to be a much better profit than we realised. But it's all based on, has anybody actually asked, hey, are you going to make a collection out of this? If this is going to be... oh, okay, then there you go. Well, you can see people are kind of asking for it, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see more. And it's just a waiting game. So what I always say is, always keep an eye on the workshop. I keep saying it, but that's what you got to do. You got to be one of the first people to be aware of what's happening next, and yeah, you get the idea. So things are looking all right, but it's mainly based on will we see more of the collection. Right, out of all of these other skins, which of these might potentially be a good investment? I don't really think anything else is going to be doing quite all right in terms of very, very nice profits. But for something to at least retain its value, high quality metal boots probably going to do quite all right. So the boots being accepted today, we did see a spike in demand and a spike in price for the tier 3. So this actually shot back up a fair bit. Didn't match up to its Rust ore price, but it still went much higher than what it was earlier. I think it's gone up by like 50 or 60%. So that was very cool to see. Will we actually see Tier 2 or Hoodie and Pants at some point? Not really sure, but Diaz keeps being successful in getting his other skins accepted. His gloves, his boots now. I would be surprised if at some point in November he uploads Tier 2 or makes has a second attempt with his Hoodie and Pants, so a version 2 of his Hoodie and Pants. If he keeps getting skins accepted, if Facepunch keeps accepting skins, things are looking promising. And, well, if we were to see new core pieces appear, whether it's Tier 2 or Hoodie and Pants, yes, the boots would very likely spike demand and spike in price, along with the likes of the gloves, along with the likes, of course, with the Tier 3 armour. So, if you're feeling confident, what do you reckon? And yeah, with the boots being accepted today, the gloves did go up very nicely. Not insanely, but, that's still a very nice profit to have if you had these and, well, were to sell them now. So maybe it's a matter of we only want to do a buy order. That's fine, but this isn't abnormal, right? This isn't abnormal. So you'd have to quite literally be one of the first people to jump in when the Rust store rotates next week and try and get a very good buy order down. If you think you could be successful with that, by all means, stick with that. But I get the feeling we might have an early Rust store next week because it's the first week of Halloween. The first Halloween Rust store, I should say. We shall see. Like today's Rust store, it was early. Like earlier than normal. So I can't really answer very nicely if it's all going to work out very nicely. So again, no need to rush right now. We could keep an eye on the sales. We can look at it maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. And if you think, you know what, maybe this isn't going to be stupid, maybe this is going to be perfectly fine, then yeah, maybe make some purchases. But let's just quickly look at all the boots that we've had accepted this year. What do we see? 7, and well, Ladybug's doing all right. Phantom, Pixel, Whiteout, Hardsuit, Comics, yeah, a little bit awkward. But this sold excessively. This sold fairly excessively, and when this came out, that was so much worse for this. Hardsuit, unfortunately, never really got its Tier 2 armour, and, well, that was awkward. Pixel, I don't know. Pixel just doesn't seem to be that interesting to people. Phantom is weird, because Phantom was already basically a full collection. It finally got the boots, which was like the final piece, but even then, down 57%. Oh, dear. And Ladybug cosplay, cool looking shoes. I don't know what to say. But with the likes of this, will it sell as much as the gloves and the Tier 3 armour? Well, gloves did like 12,400 sales. The chestplate did almost 15,000 sales, and the face mask did just over 16,000 sales, based on what SMM sees. So if it matches up quite nicely to the gloves, I think this will be totally fine. And like I said, if we do see the other core pieces being made and submitted at some point in November, all the better for this. And if it gets accepted, oh, brilliant, wonderful. So maybe. At the very least, boots, it should retain its value. It should be all right. But if we kind of see the high quality metal collection being abandoned after this, like maybe if we don't see a skin throughout all of November, maybe you probably want to sell them. Maybe that's where we notice problems. So, other than that, all of these other skins, I'm not really super keen as to whether they might be good investments. I really don't think they will be. But I guess I could still talk about the likes of the Pirate Python. Now, in regards to this, we just need to go ahead and take a look at all the Python skins, and what do you see? Down 55, down 50, down 56, down 57, down 58. Doesn't look super good, does it? But a lot of people earlier were pointing out, oh, but Hedge, with the Pirate Collection, you've always just kept saying it's a budget blackout option, it's a budget blackout option. Surely the Blackout Python, with that being at $9, the likes of this Python could easily go up in price. Well, we need to talk about the Blackout Python real quickly. As you can see here, very cool, nice, sleek black design. But the main thing that we need to discuss is the aim sight. What do you see? The aim, the little bits right here, they're transparent. You can see a little bit more, and that's half the reason why this Python is a whole lot more expensive. Guess what? This Python right here doesn't have that. It still has the little aim sight bits to the side here. So we can't sit here and say this is the budget option of this, because that has that extra little special bit. And yes, you might sit there and say, really? Just that extra little bit of space is what makes this so much more valuable? Yes. Yeah, honestly, that is the answer. But at the end of the day, if you just want a nice black Python skin, which has a very useful red aim sight, that's right there and available to you. And maybe loads of people will be thinking that. Maybe loads of people will assume, you know what, that's all I need, that's all I want. But please keep in mind, the likelihood of where this very likely will end up would be probably very similar to this, or maybe in between. Maybe it'll still go down in price, which is my expectation, but it probably won't go down that low. And that's essentially what happened to the likes of the AK-47. So again, looking at this, collection here is actually redeeming itself. It's still starting to go back up in price. But more specifically, with this Pirate AK-47, its lowest price point was about $1.20, and now it's starting to rise back up in price. Ooh. And what did I just say there? Lowest price point. You need to be aware of something that I've made a video talking about this. Here we go. Yep, there you are. I would recommend that you watch this video. This goes over trying to identify what potentially could be a very nice, profitable adventure. Let's say you are keen on a certain skin, but you need to be able to look at its sales history and get a good idea if maybe right now is the best time to jump in, because maybe it's already reached its lowest price point and you don't want to miss out on potential very nice maximised profits. So watch this video. It's only 20 minutes long. It's only 11 minutes long if you watch it 2 times speed, but the idea is, once you've watched this, you would be able to approach many skins in the Steam market right now, jump in, buy into some, wait 2 months, post-Christmas time, you're going to make some very good profits. Because a lot of skins out there have already reached their lowest point, and from here and now, they can only go up. Alright? And the Pirate Collection is definitely a very good one to mention because, well, that's on the up now. All of those skins that you see here have essentially reached the lowest point that they're going to be at all of this year in terms of their price, and from here and now, they're only going to go up. Hopefully, if everything works out all right. They all still have like a lot of quantity on the Steam market, so it might be a little bit slower, but it's still expected to behave that way. So, other than that, we could also potentially mention the likes of the LR300. Now, by default, LR300s in terms of gun demand, well, you can see the skins and realise not everybody seems to be super keen to use an LR300. But this is still somewhat special. It's the Chameleon skin, and that essentially is going to carry it. So if you were to look at the Chameleon collection, you might remember we talked about the likes of the Chameleon MP5, and well, that's actually jumped back up into the positive. So again, this was before we had the buff. The Chameleon MP5, there was cause for concern. So let's just quickly look at this. What was the lowest price point that it reached? Right here, a good 10 or so days ago, it was sitting here at about $1.50, but ever since then it's only been going up and up and up, and with all these new skins being accepted recently, it's only trending up further and further upwards. So this has almost doubled in price from this lowest point here about just over a week ago to now. And yeah, I get the feeling that even though this is selling for a fairly high price of $3 compared to some of these other skins, except the AK, which also sold for $3, this probably will be retaining its value. It'll probably go down to maybe at worst $2.50. But after all of this horrible situation, after the autumn fall seasonal dip, when we reach post-Christmas time, I do get the feeling with a lot of returning players, they're going to buy those weapon racks and they're going to look for very interesting weapon collections that are going to look extra shiny and very cool so they can flex. And well, I get the feeling the Chameleon collection is what they're going to want, and they're going to want all the skins, and therefore they're going to want the LR300 right here as well. So it's going to get carried by the collection, essentially. That's what I'm thinking. If that sounds okay to you, you will want to keep an eye on the amount of sales that this has, because the MP5 did not sell that much in comparison to the other skins here. But then again, the SAR also didn't sell that much, but that's doing very nicely at the moment. But then again, you can't really judge it. You've got to wait 2 weeks, then look at it. But I still expect this is going to work out very nicely. So this right here, maybe it's a matter of, because it's abnormal, we'll just put in a very strong buy order on Wednesday and see what happens. But I get the idea that this will be going below its roster price for a fair bit, but then, post-Christmas rolls in, and it's just going to sit in the positive very nicely for a fairly decent amount of time. So that's what my consideration is. Maybe just a decent buy order will be enough. Sounds good? So, yeah. Sorry if that got a bit wordy, but there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of context to throw out to all of you. But at the end of the day, if you happen to like any of these skins, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creators, and especially with the likes of Charitable Rust, buy it to help out those in need, if that's, sounds nice to you. You get the idea. So, other than that, thank you very much for watching me. Best of luck to all of your investments, and enjoy October, because once we're past that, everything should be a whole lot nicer. Alright? And once again, if I didn't talk about the skin, it means I'm not really keen on it and being a good investment. So, just want to point that out. Okay, cool. So, catch you later. See you, goodbye.